Did y'all have an issue with men and spousal support, especially like if the chick is making more money?
It's called spousal support. It's not called wife support.
I'm going to leave all that money on the table because I'm afraid of what people will call me. You know what they won't call me? Broke. Welcome to equality.
Women, prepare yourself. Y'all think prenups are just for men. Prenups protect you too.
About spousal support, right? So I was looking at a clip from, I think it's Good Moms, Bad Choices podcast. And the black sister who was like on The Bachelorette, right? I forget the most recent one maybe. And she was talking about her experience on The Bachelorette. Now, the thing that I found interesting was that I guess when they got divorced, Homie was able to get some spousal support. Does anybody remember her specifically? Y'all see the clip or no? No, okay, this would be a quick take. Okay, well, we don't really care so much about her. But I was going to ask y'all though, did y'all have an issue with men and child support and spousal support, especially like if the chick is making more money?
It's called spousal support. It's not called wife support. You know what I mean? Your spouse can be, if you're a woman, your spouse, and if you're a woman married to a man, your spouse is a man. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man married to a woman, your spouse is a woman, right? It's spousal support. So no, as a spouse, you should be qualified to get it. Now, when people look at you kind of dirty or whatever, they might, but they don't know what you went through. They don't know about your struggles. Now, I know earlier in the season, there was somebody in a similar situation, and I chided him a little bit. I told him he should go and try to, you know what I'm saying, make his own money, all that kind of stuff. I did. And sir, I'm just going to say, I was in my feelings that day. I had my emotional ears on. You know what I'm saying? I might have been like transferring, channeling or something, and as I think about it now, I say, no, everybody should get what's entitled to them for the title and the job that they have done, regardless as to their gender. Look at that. Look at me being progressive.
I'm going to go ahead and double down on the bitch assness because I too remember that conversation and was going to refer to Offset, but to talk about offsetting income of somebody else, particularly your spouse who's a woman. And however, I will say that this season I have progressed. While I still consider it some bitch assness, I have progressed and I now understand that spousal support is just that, spousal. Now, if they're doing it for the purpose of being vindictive and whatnot, then that's fucked up. And I think that there's a lot of fucked upness in the world. And as a matter of fact, I believe there's a rise of bitch assness. So I say, do you? And women, prepare yourself. Y'all think prenups are just for men. It's for you too. Prenups protect you too. So if you're coming into a relationship with some money or some assets and whatnot, then go ahead and normalize prenups in the community, be it man or woman. And stop thinking that it's a dig at you as a woman if a prenup is in place. Go ahead and normalize that. So I support prenups, especially since we have a rise of bitch assness in the world.
I want to put a pin in this, the rise of bitch assness.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a whole episode right there. There's just a phrase that we should dig in later on and look at that, like the rise of bitch assness. Somewhere in season 6, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
No, listen, I'm with you, right? It's funny that you should point that out because I see what S&M was doing, which is what women tend to do sometimes, or people in general. They'll say, hey, don't do what's best for you because that makes you a bitch. Like, for real? Oh, let me not do what's in my financial interest because I'm afraid that somebody's going to call me a bitch ass for doing so. Get the fuck out of here. That don't make no goddamn sense. I'm going to leave all that money on the table because I'm afraid of what people will call me. You know what they won't call me? Broke. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if I was Dusty before, you know what they won't call me? Dusty anymore. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, sis, on the way out. And let's pause for a second, right? Because what bothers me about this conversation is that if a woman is better off financially, and maybe she can't find a dude who's more well off, right? And so she decides to meet a man who's not as financially well off, right? And that brother decides to commit himself to the family, to the home. Like he plays his position, he plays his role. I think in an ideal situation, we all would champion that to a certain extent, right? And so, okay, cool. And he does that. But then the relationship doesn't work out. He was not making money for the family because he supported her career. It just is befuddling to me that we send out these type of messages in an environment where women are championing being bosses and championing all these things. And we all know that most of them can't get the nigga above them that they really want because of a myriad of reasons. So it would stand to reason that, hey, getting a man who doesn't make as much as you would make the most sense as long as he could put his ego to the side, which I ask guys to be able to do, right? And to support you in your ambition and hopefully hold it down. If that man does that, he doesn't deserve spousal support. If the relationship doesn't work out, all of a sudden he got to be a bitch ass because he made the sacrifice. and the commitment to be down for the boss ass chick that he chose to marry. So that's why I'm pushing back on that, because while I do understand playfully that could be the sentiment, but I think if we're being honest and we understand that women are saying, hey, we're elevating y'all, we're making all this money, y'all. And we also know there's not enough men to go around because most of us are married, right? Or, you don't want to share peen, which, I mean, you got to make choices. So my point is that, I mean, it is what it is, right? So it's like, y'all, the world does not just change because it doesn't work out for you, sis. Sorry. So you got to make choices. And if that choice is, because listen, as a man on my side, in that situation, as much as men complain about that, I'm not going to complain about that, bro. If I married somebody, we built together, if I was the main one out here getting it, she held the house down or whatever, I'm not going to complain like we get divorced and I got to give her half, because damn near she'll deserve it, depending on how she fulfilled my life, because I vetted her appropriately. And I most likely would not have been able to make it as far as I would have without her, because I was thoughtful enough to recognize this is what I needed in my life to secure it in such a way for me to reach whatever levels of success that I've reached. So if I got to pay that on the way out, thanks, sis. Right? Because going into it, I had $0. Leaving it, I got 50 million. I'm up. Okay, well, here you go. Hey, my mother of my children who helped me get the 50 M's. Here you go. Guess what? I'm going to go out there and make 50 more. You think I'm going to stop just because we ain't together? I don't already, got the sauce. The foundation has been laid. I can go out here and make it on my own. So, of course, I'm going to take care of her. So I don't get the logic when men do it, and I damn sure ain't going to sit here and support when women do it. Nah, sis, that brother earned it by holding you down, just like a woman does typically. Now, if he didn't earn it, that's some bullshit. Okay, I agree with that. Bitch assness. 1,000%. But I would also say, though, if you're that boss bitch, and guess what? You got to accept accountability for marrying that motherfucker just like guys do. Welcome to equality. Welcome to the new age. To the new age. The fuck we talking about?
So I agree with the stay at home if they help support the woman and whatnot. I agree with you 100%. Because that's what we say about stay at home moms, stay at home wives. If they're in that
Not you
position
want
and
to
they're playing
agree.
that role, then yes, they do deserve the spousal support. You know what I'm saying? But I still support prenuptials. I don't care which way you cut it. And
Oh,
I mean, not
1,000%.
prenuptials, I mean prenups. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, we
so
agree with
I was
that.
right. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, so I agree 100%. If they held it down, stay at home, husband, stay at home father, I support that. Even if they stayed at home part time and did the majority of that part of the cooking, cleaning, and so forth, I support that. But in some cases, that's not what was happening. At least in the celebrity cases, that's not exactly. They weren't stay at home dads. They weren't stay at home. But in the real world, yeah, I support that. I can see it. And because as women, we would expect the same if we were stay at home and we helped build this person's career and so forth. So I support that part.
Let me ask you a question now. Let's say you're not a stay-at-home. Let's say you're the ride-along husband / manager / PA, whatever. Okay. So you going along with her and all her stuff, make sure she feels good. She got that emotional support. You looking at her eyes, telling she's good enough, she's smart enough, she's ready to go. You're doing the intangibles while the nanny is watching the kids. Would
That's
that
still valuable.
No, that's still
That's
support.
still valid.
No, that's
Yeah,
still
still support.
support. So matter of fact, he should be on the payroll.